Welcome back, everybody. So, my next movie review for you is Back to the Future Part 3. So, in this next installment in the trilogy of Back to the Future, we get to see the return of Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. We also got Christopher Lloyd as Dr. Emmett Brown, and plus many others that were in the first two movies. In this third installment, we get to see them go back further in time to the Wild West, where basically Marty McFly goes back there after the events of what happened at the end of Back to the Future Part 2 to go and collect the Doctor to then take him back and get their selves back to basically their own time, which is 1985. What they don't seem to realise is while entering the Wild West, the DeLorean runs into a bit of a problem. In other words, a bunch of engines which then punch the fuel tank, and they later find out, as the doc says, is that there isn't a gas station here for the next 100 odd years, which then develops a bit of a problem for them, is that they have to try and find a way back or find a way to power the DeLorean to get back to their own time. So, in this third installment, do I enjoy this movie? I do enjoy this movie. I don't enjoy it as the first two, but I still look at it as a very, very entertaining watch. If it was on TV, or if I went, do you know what, I'm going to watch the Back to the Future trilogy or Back to the Future 3, I would. It's as simple as that. This is how much I do enjoy this movie. I admit, it doesn't have the same feel as the first two, but I honestly do believe that maybe they'd done what they had to do in the first two movies, which then gave them an opportunity to try and explore something else, is that they just chose to go even further back in time, add a few problems, and just to see how they deal with it, with that potential that they may not get back to their own time. I like the idea of it. This is the dangers of time travel. You know, you do not know what you're going to expect, especially if you go further back in time. You really, really don't know what you're going to expect or what you're going to encounter. You don't know if the time machine that you're going to get into is going to get damaged, which is like what happens in this one, and there's that questionable ability of whether they're going to get back. I like what they did here. I really, really do. And I like the fact that it does still feel and follow the kind of the same tones as the first one. It's still set in the same place, but in the earlier time. I get it. And they got some nice little throwbacks there, or nice little things that they used in the first two movies, which make it very, very entertaining. The plotline is literally about them trying to find a way to power the DeLorean to get back to their own time, but this time we also got a love interest for the Doc, which is a nice and different change to see the Doc fall in love with somebody, and yet okay, fair enough, he does tamper with time a little bit, which is a rule that he goes against, but he can't help his feelings. I like that touch in this movie. I really, really did. I think it's a nice, subtle touch. It's nice to see, in the first two movies, it's mainly about Marty McFly and Jennifer, but in this movie, it was more about the Doc in this one, and that's just a nice little subtle change, which I really, really enjoyed. I like the sequences in this as well. There's some quite funny moments in here. There's some embarrassing moments again. And if you watch my Back to the Future 2 review, you notice and you got those embarrassing moments where you just go and go, oh, I don't know if I can watch this kind of thing. And then you're just like that. Watching because you know it's quite embarrassing and you know it's only a film, but for some reason you feel embarrassed. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but I certainly do every now and again, especially when watching this movie. You get that kind of side of it. You get to see a bit of history to the McFly family. You get to see this just so many different bits that I do enjoy about this movie as well. You also get to see Biff's relative, and you get to see that they haven't changed throughout the years. They're still a pain in the ass. They're still very much trying to control everything. I like it. I really, really do. And the fact that Marty McFly in this as well is a little bit of a fish out of water makes it even more interesting, to be fair, because it's not like the movies in this one, even though he does do a movie scene from a famous Clint Eastwood one. But, he is a fish out of water. I like it. It's not his time. In the future, he can adapt to when he was in the future, but when you go back to the past, he can't adapt so much because, there's not a lot as much to relate to, so to speak. Which is a nice touch to this storyline. It's not hard to follow. Like I said, it mainly follows them trying to get back and with the Doc with a love interest as well. That is the main premise of the storyline. It's not hard to follow. It is kind of predictable in places. You know that they're going to get back. It's one of those movies you go, well, you know you're going to get back. So, I don't know what you're worried about. And it's all done for, obviously, the dramaticness and all that kind of stuff. But, it's good entertainment for me. I remember watching this when I was a kid. Enjoyed it then. I still enjoy it now. Like I said, I don't enjoy it as much as the first two, but I do still enjoy this quite a lot. I said the performances in this are actually quite good. I don't know if I've mentioned that already, but I'm going to mention it again. They are quite good. Funny moments, embarrassing moments. You know, it's just entertaining for me. This is like my childhood, which I'm doing. I'm doing these retrospective reviews because this is my childhood. This is me growing up, and every time I review it, a real movie that I watched when I was younger, I just get that massive nostalgia, and again, I get to want to watch these movies, and I kind of hope I do this the same with you guys, like me, just reviewing them, and you go, oh yeah, yeah, and it makes you want to go off and watch them. Which is also the point of me doing this, is the fact that even the younger generation will go, well, I've never seen Back to the Future trilogy. Let's go and see if I can watch it. And I just hoping, spread the love for some good old-fashioned movies. However much there are some very good movies out these days, they will never, in my eyes, beat the movies that I grew up with. And that's personally how I look at it as. So, if I was to rate this, I would give this a 9 out of 10. And the only reason why I'm giving it one mark down is because I literally I just don't enjoy it as much as I do the first two. But it's still a good, entertaining watch for me. And that's my own personal opinion. So on that note, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care and goodbye.